Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. We appreciate the viewership and hope you can learn something and enjoy this morning's show. Our weather brought to us, all of us, by Drew Pollard's company up there in Southport, Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. They do a great job with it. And right now, I was telling somebody the other day, my folks up in Tennessee, they're in a heat wave in mid-90s. I said, it's not even hitting the 90s down here. It's high of 86. And I look back in June 14th, high of 86. June the 12th, high of 86. We just haven't had many 90-degree weather. Weird, hasn't it? But low would be 78, so it's that same little window. Not a lot of temperature, but we're making up for it with the rain, as most of y'all know, here on the coast. Water temperature is 82.3 at the end of the pier. River reading brought to us by Mountain Dew. Own the outdoors with Mountain Dew. Out of all this activity with a hurricane on one side and all kind of rain on the coast, you'd think the rivers would be jumping up and going around. Look at them, folks. The Apalachicola Bluntstown right at 8 foot, 7.9 to be exact. The Choctaw Careville, 8.2. And according to NOAA, they're going to stay that way for the next couple of days. I'm really surprised, but anyway, that's good for us. They're going to stay steady. All right, our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're in a week of great tides. High of 8:15 this morning and low at 7:36 tonight. So really good, strong tides today. The wind's going to be coming west-southwest at 10 to 15. I was thinking a couple of days ago we'd get more of a north wind, but it's going to be a west-southwest as everything circles around counterclockwise. So we're on the good side for a change. Thank goodness we're on the good side. All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. Now, welcome back. Let's talk a minute about the fishing plugs. We talked about that badonkadonk last week. It called that pompano in top water. The badonkadonk, you fish really for redfish and bass. Redfish and bass fishing very similar, so a lot of times you use the same plugs. Then I started, talked about a video on Mike Edwards up here in Lynn Haven, hand making his own bass lures. And the bass plugs have always fascinated me, I guess because as a little boy, that's the first thing I saw when my daddy or granddaddy opened their tackle box. I just see all the colors and they just register with me. And I've always had and Gail's been the same way. Her dad took her fishing. We always talked about, and when he passed away, he wanted me to have his tackle box. So I have his tackle box just like it was. So anyway, so we joined, we started collecting on our own. Nobody else was collecting old plugs because we just remembered it. And then I think you know the story. If you're a new viewer, basically the old fishing plug started with, and it's a legendary story, James Hedden and Sons, he was out there, he was a beekeeper up there in Dowagiac, Michigan. He was at a small lake, a pond, and he was just whittling on the back of his truck and all whittling in the late 1800s, and just threw that stick out in the water and big old bass hit it, and that started the involvement of the old fishing plugs, and it's a great history. And then Gail and I started collecting. We just, and there's two organizations that collect them: the National Fishing Lure Collectors Club. We didn't know that, and so we joined it. And then we found out there was another subgroup called the Florida Antique Tackle Club, and we just met some. This is way back in the late 80s and 90s and all. FATC, and we're lifetime members of it. We don't collect near as much as we used to. We have a great collection, and we've enjoyed it. And it's really interesting. I still get the magazine. It comes out a couple of times. But the old timers watch the show for a long time. I've shared this stuff with you. But on the magazine I got yesterday, they had the article back in the 90s, really from the top 10 of Florida plugs to top 10. And Gail and I really concentrated on the Florida tackle. I mean, we still got some national stuff. It was so widespread. We said we really, and we first ones around here, honestly, that ever started doing it. Other people came on, and I started a little Bay County Antique Tackle Club, and we'd meet up at Mosley Outdoor Room once every month. So anyway, that's how ate up with it we were. But I want to show you, I just thought you'd be interested in the top 10 plugs, Florida collectible plugs, and each one of them have a unique history. I won't spend a lot of time on them. I do want to show you the 10 plugs, okay? And the number one, I love this one, but I want you to look at the dates and all. The first one is what's called a Florida Shiner, and the printer misspelled it. But this This is from Mr. Flood, who, and actually Gail's dad was in Army Air Corps in 1940s, but this was in Frostproof, Florida, so you know that's around the Okeechobee, from 1922 to 1935, okay? Busy bait, the busy bait was Pemberton, that's around Tampa, again in the 1930s, that little busy bait, this is a Florida lure. And number 3, they put, and I love the eager bait, this in Bartow, and he hired the kids to skin the frogs, actually put frog skin on the bait in 1941, in the 40s, early 40s he started that, and it was just a really cool stuff. So that's Bartow, and then this is just different ones of the shiner and all. This is the Reynolds Barracuda. This came out of St. Petersburg, and glass-eyed, that was the St. Petersburg kind. And then the Reynolds company did a really good job. Now this is right here, this is the Pfeffer lure. This was cool. A guy in Orlando, Jim Pfeffer, they're all named after, he started this they made this from 1927 to 1970. Was that incredible? That was number 5. Number 6, the Robinson Company, actually, he was from Tampa Bay, ended up over there and made them. I love this. I got this from Popka, Florida. Again, this is in 1926. He started making these from 26 to the 50s. This next one, a collection of Garland Brothers. This is Plant City. You notice how all these are sort of in Central Florida? You know why? Because that's where the big bass were. But he put a cork head on it, made it float. He was the first one to do that. It started in the 1930s. And then, this is a little plain looking one, but this is what we call a Dalton Special out of Tampa. And from 1940 to 1960s, a great story on the Dalton family. They ended up selling, Shakespeare wanted to buy it. They sold it to Shakespeare. Shakespeare made them for years, and they ended up a long lure. The Dalton Special, if you fish with that. This is a Porter Bait Company out of Daytona Beach, 1920s. He started this. They made this from 1920s to 1960s. And that was a cool story there. Most of them have painted eyes, and some of them are they're all kind of unique characteristics. This little collection here, the Earl Gresh, he was in St. Petersburg. This was a later lure. This was made in the 1950s, the Gresh lure. It was a cool one too. So that was like number 10. So that's like top 10. And they left, I got 1 or 2 more. This is a cool one. This is one of the most rare ones. It was called a Kenny bird, and it was made in 1927, just a couple of years, like a little baby bird, and in Tampa in 1927. So anyway, that's, let's see. And then this is one made here in like live. It says Jacksonville, but it's actually made here in Panama City. We'll do a whole special on that. We've talked about that before. And then they have we would go to tackle shows and all that, and it'd get, each year would be something special. So these are different things and all. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to show you some of the old fishing tackle. That was the top 10 on this. And again, it switched around a little bit. I know that I say switched around. This was in the 90s, article written, that was, 25 years ago. So the Like Live Amy Lee Minnow hadn't been found, then a couple of others hadn't been found, and they'd probably be in there too. So, and they have one big show a year. It's in Daytona Beach. It's always the last weekend of February. It's after Bike Week and before Daytona 500. They squeeze it in that one weekend, and they didn't have it last year. We're going to try to go back this year. Just like I said, we don't collect as voraciously as we did at one time, but it's still neat to sort of enjoy our heritage. We've got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I sort of wrap up on the little old fishing tackle segment. When you go to shows, you'd have just table after table, and some people do displays, and they started just having a little contest with displays. And Gail and I won a year or two. We won what was the best educational display. I think I forget back in the 90s, but I probably the display. I want to just show you to you, and this is right here. We just decided the Florida Fishing Lure. This is our little display here. This is. And I'll start on this one right here, okay? It was called Philip Dalton Special. He got a patent in 1939 Rainbow. That's one of the first, that was the first one he did right there, that rainbow color. We got that, and then he also he made a pattern like this. Shakespeare in 1941, Shakespeare wanted to start buying it then in 41, and he just made it. So he made that, and then these two. Let's see, these vertical ones right. These two right here in the lower right-hand corner, left-hand corner. They had painted eyes. These are very rare here. And then this one here, and this from 1942. He made this one in 42. And this is what we would explain. You see the writing and everything we did on this one right here. This was, Shakespeare, they went from St. Petersburg to Tampa, which wasn't hard to do. And this is one of my favorite ones right there. We had the boxes go with them. And this was, that's when it actually went to Clearwater. So St. Petersburg, and then here on this one right here, you can see that's the first lip he put up here on the lip right here. And that was in actually Marine Metal bought it in 1975. They kept making them in Clearwater till 1987. And then the last two down here, bottom right, Lure Jensen of Oregon started making them, and they started, Lure Jensen from Oregon bought it from, so it went, from individual how it sold out. I think now they still make them probably I think they might make them in Mexico now, but there's a great story on that. I just want to share that with you. I could do 2 weeks worth of antique lure shows, but every now and then I like to share things with you, and hope you enjoy that. Now, let's go to modern day, fishing without plugs. We'll go snapper fishing. We're right here in the middle of snapper season. We talked about it yesterday, just 3 weeks left. And there's 2 ways to go. I go both ways. I go on a charter boat, on a Seminole Wind, and then I go to a couple other charter boats. That spoils you because they have everything for you. Then other ways I go with friends of mine. And Tony Bass and I have been friends for 30 years, 25 years anyway. We met at a boat ramp at St. Joe, talking about his old boats and all. But anyway, I got a video here of us really catching some nice red snapper in his boat, an old Grady White boat. And it'd be a lot more work doing it that way, but it's just as much fun and it's very enjoyable. There's 2 ways to do it, and this is we call this the working man's way of catching red snapper. So Jeff, let's roll this red snapper video. All right, we're down here at State Park on Cape Sandblast. First thing I noticed how bad the grass is at the landing. Check all this grass out. Getting ready to put the boat in. Panhandle Outdoors, Tony Bass.
Good morning, Winston.
Good morning. All the way from Valdosta, brother-in-law Michael.
Morning.
All right. Tony, what's our game plan today?
We're gonna go catch our 6 snapper. And get lucky, maybe we can catch us a red grouper and whatever else is a bonus.
All right. Hold on, Tony. What you got, buddy?
I don't know. He got me, I think.
Look at that rod bending. Beautiful rod. Let me get out of the way now. We fishing out of Tony's boat, a 1976 Grady White, in immaculate condition. Takes the waves well and catches fish well.
Ooh, yeah.
Look at that. You need some help?
That's a sow right there now.
You need a gaff? This is a, folks, this is a big snapper right here. Whoa, don't let me get, Mike, you may need help.
Help up there?
Yeah, we don't need to lose this one.
Oh!
Look at that snapper. Tony. Oh!
Dang!
Look at that snapper.
Woo! Dang, young!
Tony, what a great job there, buddy.
Look at that. Where's that grandma?
We got to get a picture of this. Oh, this is what made the Gulf Coast famous. Panhandle Outdoors shirt. That's what you good luck. All right, Tony. That is a red snapper, buddy.
That chucker is grown.
Did he pull good?
Oh, he pulled. Man, did he pull.
What a huge snapper. I think we're in a good hole right here. Water. We're gonna try to unofficially weigh them.
Sure, he's 18 pounds.
18 pounder. 18 pound red. That's a nice one. Well, you see,
bigger than 18.
I think, yeah, that's those spring scales. I'd always add 2 pounds. We'll call them a 20 pounder. Officially. Panhandle Outdoors call them a 20 pounder. One thing Tony does is box right here. He got all his rigs. These are all snapper rigs. All on the bottom, just the bottom. They're all made up, just all neatly done here. So we're gonna be in good shape for loose rigs. Just clip these right back on. Okay, right by our marker buoy. Our marker got a beeliner.
Little feller. First one of the day.
First beeliner today. Good job. That's good eating right there.
Nice little feller.
All right, Tony. How are you fishing now?
Fishing with a jig.
He's jigging this one out. Very good. On that same spot, you see the buoy marker. Jig fishing. You see him?
Not bad.
Nice one.
Pretty good.
Michael, I'm gonna bring him.
You mean to move out of the way?
Slide to the other side out here.
Fine, this is fine pretty good, Tony.
All right, we got Winston bowed up now.
This don't feel like a snapper, it feels like a shark.
That's what that big snapper felt like to me.
Well, he's taking line, buddy. This might have been that tarpon I had on this week.
Come on, Winston.
I ain't making any progress. In fact, I'm losing. You can put it on hold. Just
Did that be a while?
I don't know, we got something down there.
I got something down there.
That's a big old.
It ain't red. Is it AJ?
I don't think so. I think it's a big, no, it's a king.
It's a king. The bonita.
A bonita.
A bonita. I need a bonita. I need anything that's fighting harder than a snapper. Oh man. That's what I didn't want. Woo! All right. All right, here we go. Let me get them off. These are hooked in the mouth. Yep. All right. One of the ways we're fishing, Tony is jigging. Tony, show me. You're gonna, first thing you're gonna do is gonna take that jig, gonna tip it with a piece of squid. All right, rope right, okay.
Throwing it to the front of the boat so the current.
Going way out there.
Let it drift it back.
Gonna drift back toward him. As you drift back, start sinking, it'll.
A lot of times they've been hitting it on the way down.
A little bright color. And then all they're doing is jigging. Bring it up, let it flutter back down. Bring it up. Oh, see, look at that. Right on cue. He must have knew it. He must have been camera shy. But that's how you're doing it, though. Say, old Tony's catching a lot of fish up here on the starboard side. Look on this one. Relining and
That's a snapper.
A snapper head on top of the water.
My word.
Snapper. That's a nice one. They fight good on the spinning outfit. Right here to come on top of the water. I got another on the spinner. What's got there, Michael?
Another red snapper.
Another red snapper. We throwing them back now, folks. But, we had a lot of fun with them. Michael bowed up on that spinning reel. Still by the same buoy.
I don't think it's gonna be another red.
No way, another red snapper? We're way into the 30s. Easily. Beautiful fish on a jig.
It would appear that
Look at that jig.
red snapper will take anything today. You throw it out there and they'll bite it. Doesn't really matter what it is.
I got a double hookup. Got Tony on up here. Michael on back here.
Come on, be a group.
We just changed holes. It looks the same.
Snapper.
Another snapper. A snapper on this hole. That's a nice snapper. Nice snapper.
Got a red grouper.
A red grouper.
Look at there.
That's what we call for. We needed one of them.
All right.
Nice one. Hold them up there.
Woo.
Nice red grouper, Tony.
Yeah.
All right. How's it feel, Tony?
Feels good.
There we
There,
go.
get him octopus.
Oh, we had an octopus. Just let go. An octopus. We caught a little bit of everything today. He just let go of it. I think I got him.
Did you see?
All right, welcome back. Guess what? I'm about to run out of time. Wasn't that great? We had a showed old tackle and then catching some fish modern day. So that's fun. I've enjoyed this show probably more than most of y'all have. Let's look at our fishing game times today. Brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers. We're looking at one time 10:42 to 12:42, right in the middle of the day, and really be a good time. Most of the rain is. Well, I don't know what I'm saying about. I don't want to jinx us with the rain and all. But anyway, going back to catching those red snapper is a lot of fun, and especially it's a lot more challenging because on a charter boat we go straight to that hole and boom, boom like that. And when you working man's trip like we had, you sort of trying to find them and all. But it's a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed that. Tomorrow we have the Friday show, Friday fishing forecast, and be giving away some seafood. Thank you all so much for watching. I always appreciate the viewership. You do something good today for someone that you know, maybe someone you don't know. Have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.